How's it going, team? Eddie Gray here. I hope you are well. Welcome to the channel, The Modern Creative, where we help you become a better producer. And here we have the holy trifecta, the big six, the Buzz Plus and the Fusion. Wanted to just show you the power that's possible if we combine all three all at the same time. No need for the bus compressor necessarily because we are using the Buzz Plus. So if I am going to use it, I'm going to use this as a parallel compressor. So before we get started, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, share, support the channel. One thing to understand is that you're going to have to connect this, and then when it's all hooked up, you want to go ahead and punch in insert, and then now everything is working together. Again, I'm not going to use the bus compressor because I might be utilizing parallel compression, and how you do that within the big six is turn on that guy right there, and then I'll reset all of these to 0, and then if I want to use parallel compression, I will turn on stereo Q1, which if I didn't mention it before, this is called stereo Q1 to G comp, and so basically I can introduce some parallel compression. Let me do that now with the snare. Let's do the same with the kick. Now that may or may not be needed, but because I have the Buzz Plus, the idea is to just have more options. So you have individual compression, as I talked about within the other video that I made for the big six. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. And so now I'm going to enable the Buzz Plus, and let's see how we can get these to work together. I'm going to reset my makeup gain, set my side detection filter or the high pass filter to around 60 or 70. Let's see what happens. So we're already getting just a decent amount of compression, and you can already hear the difference. It sounds really nice. It's a nice warm SSL punch color that we're used to. My ratio is set to 4:1. I'm going to go with an auto release time just to keep this really simple. And let me make up, I don't know, about 6-7 decibels of gain here. So let's go before. So you can already hear the warmth. The magic comes in when we start to utilize these two engines. We have the low frequency shelving filter, which is a dynamic EQ, and same for high. Let me go ahead and start with low. All right, I'm going to turn on the G comp here, which is really good for a nice punchy sound. All right, so we have the low frequency dynamic EQ here. You can change the reaction time here. So that's going to be an auto adjustment there. So sometimes I really like how that sounds. If you don't want a shelving filter, you can use a bell there. So you can already hear it's a lot more pronounced, especially in the shaker. Okay, you have the option, if you have watched my other video on the Buzz Plus, of working within stereo or alternate stereo, which is a bit more focused within the mono content, or you can work in mid-side. I'm just going to keep it simple, stay in alternate stereo. There is one other knob that works here on the right-hand side, and it basically accompanies the high frequency knob here, and I'm just going to add a little bit more color or take away. Now, because we're working with potentiometers, it's really easy to just make slight adjustments that make a really big difference. You can already hear the power and the impact that this is making here. So let's go ahead and start bringing this into the fold, the Fusion. This thing is such a monster. I really love it. I'm just going to gain stage and make sure everything sounds good. All right, so the first thing to address, a high pass filter. This is basically going to make your song sound really clean, really neat. I think 30 hertz works most of the time, but this guy, very impressive. Vintage drive. This is what makes a record sound like a record. You can really create some wild coloration. Check it out. Now, because I've added a lot here, I'm just going to back off of the input trim just a little bit. And let's go ahead and move into the violet EQ, which sounds amazing. The way that I like to use this is just to kind of create a pocket. So sometimes I'll just raise up the volume all the way up and then go from 90 to 70 to 50 to 30 and see what feels best. So I'm liking 30 or 70. I would usually choose 30, so I'm going to go for 70 this time. And now it's time to back off. So I'm not sure about you, but I particularly love the warmth. I just love how it gels. I love what it does to the identity of the song. It just sounds creamy and lush. Let's check out the high knob, and I use the same approach here. Now, of course, you don't always have to add. I find myself usually adding more than I subtract, but let's see if I can be a bit more nuanced here. All right, I really like this high-end sheen, but I'm going to be careful with this song. In order to combat any and all jagged edges in your song, you have a crossover high-frequency compressor, which is just such an outstanding tool. I like how this rounds out the song. Now, with a song like this, you're going to want to be careful because you can really affect the quality of the snare, but I think this is working nicely. It sounds like a record. Yeah, I much prefer to be as subtle as I can. Let me reset the stereo width. Now, I'm not sure if you're going to hear this in YouTube world, but the width controller does what you think it does. Whatever they're using sounds phenomenal. Space is going to make the low end wider or narrower. I particularly like to go anywhere between 2 and 4. Now, these knobs are not potentiometers. I'm not sure what the choice was on that. Maybe it's a creative thing, but still, it is awesome. Let's go. All right, again, I'm just going to back off a little bit here. I just want everything to be touched, not necessarily drowned with stuff. There is a great transformer here. Some people like it, some people don't. I had a friend here tell me that he thought it sounded too tubby. Let's see if this is true. yeah, I think I would have to agree. In this case, it doesn't work. But here you are. Let's go ahead and bypass, and see where we started. I'm not going to bypass this, but here we go. Anyway, you can see why I'm so enthusiastic about this. It sounds absolutely incredible. This is the holy trifecta, and I am so grateful to God for the opportunity to be able to work with these units. Let me go ahead and adjust some parallel compression, and we'll get out of here. Guys, thank you so much. If you appreciate what we are doing here, go ahead and share, go ahead and like. Please check out the links in the description. Check out all the various links and sites I have on there. I very, very, very much appreciate that. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'm going to get out of here. Eddie Gray out.